Welcome to another part of The Problem With, a new series of videos I'll be trying to get out as often as I can, in which I tell you my problems with certain video games I've played. This time we're focusing on another Rockstar game, Grand Theft Auto 4. The problem I have with Grand Theft Auto 4 is not its uninspired story, its lack of any real characters or engagement, or that I find it head-bangingly boring. My problem with Grand Theft Auto 4 is to do with the direction it has taken as a franchise. The focus of my frustration is on the realistic direction it's decided to take with the violence. Now, I grew up with the old games 3, Vice City and San Andreas, and heck, I'm still growing up with them now. What I was struck by was that those games were cartoonish with the violence. I loved playing Vice City because of the cartoonish nature of it, of seeing people's heads come off and when you shoot them with a sniper rifle, and god, that does sound quite psychopathic. But my point is that they took an approach which was silly, and yet it was fun. In Grand Theft Auto 4 though, there is some silly and cartoonish violence in the game, I'll give it that, but it seems to have been toned down quite heavily. There isn't as much blood, and without the humorous level of graphical violence, the game isn't really very fun. I can spend a maximum of half an hour playing it before getting bored and switching to something else. I may not be explaining this very well, and for that I apologise, but I hope that you can see my personal feelings about the game now I haven't played the expansions to 4, so I can't comment on those, but using Vice City as an example, you could run around for hours on end causing untold havoc, and in this you really can't. This is why I now prefer playing the Saints Row games over Grand Theft Auto 4. I also don't like the fact that they decided to make it more social, with the interactions with different characters and going to bars and taking girls out and stuff like that. I can understand the need to make it more realistic and more open world in that respect, but it just seems like busy work that doesn't really go anywhere. I hated having driven to a mission destination, getting a call from a friend asking if I wanted to go bowling. It's tedious, boring, and ultimately does not pay off. Grand Theft Auto 4 is one of the few games that I haven't completed. I'll admit that. Not only do I find the story boring as hell, and not very good or very interesting, but the switch to a less comical circumstance or violence doesn't sit well with me, and ultimately this is my problem with Grand Theft Auto 4.